Well, hello, hello. How is everyone today? We are here for another chill stream, chill writing stream, and hopefully we're going to put a very large dent into whatever we have left to do before, I'm gonna say Friday. Saturday's the deadline. I don't want to be working on Saturday. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So I'm going to be working today on some more of my map. I'm also going to be I'm gonna be working my map. I'm gonna be working on the CSS for my map. I'm gonna be making it fancy. And from there, I guess we'll kind of see how it goes. I would also maybe like to pick out some articles from this past year that I might also include in the not map category, like the actual article categories. Ruben, first time chatter, hello, how are you? But yeah, at first I wasn't sure if I was gonna submit any articles. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this map, I'm gonna do the map and nothing else. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I might theoretically have articles I might submit. I might submit for Beautiful World, honestly, because I mean, I'm quite happy with my CSS and some of my articles are laid out quite nicely. I put a lot of time and effort into the presentation of my articles in the past recently, I shall say. But yeah, here's just a little sneak peek at what I've been working on with my map. You'll see that this sidebar here on my map actually matches what my world looks like now. Like with the colors and the styling. What's the worst that can happen? You're so right. What's the worst that can happen? I just don't win? Sure. It could be worse. But yeah, this took a little bit of figuring out, but I'm quite happy with it. This image here is like the only thing I wish wasn't the way it was. um it's just massive, but if I didn't set the image max width to like taking up the entire thing, the text just wraps around it so weirdly in the article preview on the map pins. So, you know, you just gotta you take some wins and you take some losses, and in the end, you just hope that it's an overall win, you know? But yeah, so I have been working on all of these pins. I have more images that I can put into some of these. I might have to make some more images for some of these. That's fine. But what I've been really working on is making this thing look nice, look pretty, look presentable. Added some little storytelling snippets to this just general part of my map. I thought leaving every pin only on this side of the map would be just like a little boring, a little uninteractive, so I'm kind of spreading the love a little bit. You target the specific image. You know, I didn't try that. But I think that might I'll see if I can try that when I have a little bit more time. But for now it's not like a huge deal to me. But we will see. I will keep that tip in mind. And I think someone was gonna send me something. I'm not sure. If I can find the channel. CSS help. Yeah, CSS is scary. That note on the map. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like the whole point of this map is I just wanted it to be kind of like a narrative like look into my world. So in order to learn about each of these individual regions of my world, you are quite literally looking at a map that someone has made and has kind of ruined. But all the stuff that you want to know about this entire continent is still readable, and the guy who made the map is more than happy to tell you all about these places. And you just click on that, you get the whole article, boom. Yes. I'm really jazzed about this. This is like my favorite thing that I've made on WorldAnvil, to be honest. Yeah, I'm happy to be working on it. So I hope everyone has something to work on while I'm just kind of going about my adventures. I hope everyone has something nice to drink. It is once again juice today, but in a different mug. It's got little birds and oranges on it. It's very cute. Oh, maybe hold it up to the actual camera. Haha. Yeah, we are just trying to push through getting all this work done. And hopefully, we will end up with a product that we are very happy with and very content in sending in to be judged by people on the internet. It's always very scary, even if you're happy with the work you've done. Oh yeah, and I finally put together some of the marker groups so I can just turn stuff on and off. You can have no markers on the map at all. Yeah, but everything on there all at once just seems a little busy. So I have regions and narrative turned on by default. And if you want to see the subregions and the settlements, you can just turn those on yourself. Savvytooth Tiger gifted 1 sub. Oh, thank you. That's my first. That's my very first. Thank you. Ah, now you have access to some of these emotes that unfortunately I can't make free right now. Gosh, yeah, I was looking at the requirements for having free emotes for your channel, and like apparently you have to stream like 60 times or something after hitting affiliate, so that's gonna take me many weeks. Very many weeks. But I have these little emotes now that I have a lot of other emotes that are just like under review. You'll get there. Yeah, I just have to stick with it. We'll get there one day. But look at these fun little emotes. It's like, that's my favorite. It's my favorite part about hitting affiliate is I can finally put emotes on my own channel and use them in my own chat. I think I can use them in other people's chats too, but like, still, I have them now, and that's fun. I still have to set up what like actual rewards I might make with my channel points that I have dubbed bird currency. I really racked my brain trying to think of what I should call them and what what ideally they would be. And so I don't know, I like the simplicity, but also like the weird specificity of bird currency. Only bird money is good here. You see. Ooh. Breadcrumbs would have probably also have worked. Yeah, true, but like I don't know, like my whole like branding theme is like Strix, like the owl. So they don't really do breadcrumbs, you know? They eat other creatures. Bird currency is a combination of shiny rocks and stolen chicken nuggies. Very true. You can listen, you can go a very long way if you just hand me a box of chicken nuggets. Like, we will be friends instantly. I'm very treat motivated. But yes. Now, I don't know if we have any CSS wizards in the chat right now, but I actually have no idea how to target these little pin pop-ups. I'm sure I can figure it out. I just don't have it offhand. But if I had it just kind of spoken to me, like whispered on the wind, that would be helpful. Oh, Mondo has shared some stuff. Can you right click it and then inspect? Yeah, probably. Oh, this is the wrong window. Haha. Oh god, this window is gonna be very small. I have to do this maybe. Oh gosh. This is slightly better. Oh my god. I've just like broken everything. Hold on. Hold on. It's fine. We're good. So what do we have? Leaflet pop-up content. there's a lot of moving parts on this section of the map. Yeah, see, like that's usually inspecting things is usually the way I go about this. But like I don't think that inspecting the sidebar for the maps actually tells you like, oh yeah, it's like user CSS map sidebar or something. Like it's very obvious, but it doesn't tell you that. So sometimes things are just not quite what they look like in the inspect pane. But yeah. Yeah, like I'm definitely not a CSS master. By the clicky tool thing, it's on the top left of the CSS sidebar, click on something in the field. This little clicky boy up here, just click on whatever. Oh no. I don't have the right thing highlighted. Ooh. Yeah, so it's pretty much saying leaflet pop-up content wrapper, leaflet pane. Oh, let's see what's in this thing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff scattered in here that's definitely not targeting maps, so I have to like, oh, map pop-ups. Perfect. Map context, user CSS, leaflet pop-up. Very nice. Now let's see if I can actually make that work. Out of here with that. Sorry, my phone's telling me that my washer fluid's low in my car, even though I actually refilled it today. Alright, so we're gonna put this back here. We're gonna pop this boy open. I like working in this tiny one, because why not? I like all this. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I keep getting notification sounds. Anyway. Yeah, so CSS is just this like wacky wild adventure that I have been dabbling in and have been enjoying the process of. And I hope one day I can be on the level of the greats who just conjure magnificent, beautiful, peculiar, and otherworldly assets using CSS that at the time, or like for the time being, I don't really even know how to process in my brain. I feel like I reach for my drink and take a sip looking like a gremlin every single time, just like, ah, yes, sippy. Yeah, freedom with CSS is amazing. Absolutely. Like, it was definitely one of the reasons that I upgraded my account for the first time. I was like, oh, I want to make my world look pretty. I want to make it custom. I want to make it all fancy and look awesome. And so, here we are. We've done all of this. Like, first of all, I've just made my own header images, backgrounds, and just kind of like tossed them in there. And designed my containers and just everything, making all the pop-ups look on theme, all the buttons. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun to play with. It's the main reason I chose WorldAnvil. Yeah, I actually have no idea how exactly I stumbled on WorldAnvil. Or not so much stumbled on it, like I know I got there because of like I think it was How to Be a Great GM. Like his YouTube videos put me onto WorldAnvil, but I don't know what exactly at that point in time was like, yes, I'm going to come here, I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to write on here. Because at the time, I don't think I was really doing anything like this to like any major degree to which I would actually want a way to organize it all. But it was definitely something I was interested in, so probably just that passive interest kept me going. I'm just gonna save this little borrowed code real quick and see what it did. Okay, yeah, so that definitely does at least targets exactly what I need it to. Now we just need to make it what we want it to be. So CSS is the reason I chose it. Community is gonna be the reason I stay. Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know that I would be so into it if it wasn't for all the people in the community that are just fantastic human beings. Like, there's not a single day that I don't go into the Discord server and just like every single day I go on there and there's just people being nice to each other, being kind and supportive and creative together, and it's so nice. Like that kind of creative community is one of those things that I kind of miss the most about being in art school. I don't necessarily miss art school, but I miss having tons of artists around me at all times doing art and making stuff like around me. It was very inspiring. It was very cool. And I'm glad that I have something kind of similar to that in WorldAnvil. We're just gonna see if this does what I want it to. Okay, okay. Pretty beautiful. Now, if only I could just... if I can just get rid of this sidebar, that'd be really cool, because it looks kind of gross the way it is right now. Yeah, I definitely like the way that looks on these, Even if the scroll bar remains, it won't be the end of the world. But I would like it gone and or changed. Because it's a little obvious. Like it's right there. Oh, let's see if is that something I can grab with the inspect? This window's not big enough. Alright, I'm just gonna have to move a couple things off of the stream view. I don't know if I can specifically target the scroll bar as a scroll bar. Might have to do some black magic digging through some of the help forums. I have to thank Mondo for posting that, because that was just like a very immediate help to me. Okay. So yes, maybe we can search the CSS help channel how to get rid of a scroll bar. WebKit scroll bar, ooh. It's just a scroll bar, you'd have to use some classes in front of it. Yeah, so I guess we will just kind of see how that works out. See what we can do with this. We will see if saying user image. Yeah, I'm just gonna see if anyone we'll see if anyone has just like posted something that helps with this directly. This is part of the adventure for me, is just figuring out what exactly I want to do and doing it at the same time. It'd have to be something like user content, WebKit scroll bar. Could work. Yeah, but either way, I do really like just the I like the look we've got going on here. Oh, it changed all the scroll bars and user content. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we could find a way. Yeah, I'm sure we could find a way to just have it only affect these things. Oh, let's see what happens if we just use it. We just throw it on there as it is. Does that do anything for it? Not here. Does it do anything on my world page? Let's just open a random article. Don't know. Results. If I just make it like a little bigger, would it change? No, it doesn't really. regardless, we are making good progress nonetheless. I will at least be happy for whatever we get done. Ooh. Oh no. Streamlabs has perceived you as trying to post links and it does not like that. Kinda wish it didn't just delete the chat. That'd be cool. Yeah, Streamlabs always just be striking. And it'd be nice if it could. And I guess I could just make it not do that anyway. I could make it less mean, as it were. Yeah, I'm sorry that you have been stopped. W3 Schools page for scroll bars. Oh, that'd be... No, I could just look that up. Because I've definitely used this site before, so... Let us just see. I can just pull that up myself right now. Just opened it in a new window. All right. Okay, so I guess we will see. Found a new way to clear your browser history. Just post a link. Yeah, there you go. Perfect, perfect. Oh. Keegan, no. Do not antagonize the bot, please. One day it just may strike too hard. Yeah, we will see. We will see. I was putting time out. Yeah, you were putting time out. See, now I'm just curious, like, what link were you trying to post? Yeah, I'm just messing around with the messing around with Streamlabs, seeing if I can make it a little bit less angry at people, but I don't know that I can without just completely turning off link stuff. I mean, I guess it doesn't... Does it really matter if people post links? I mean, I guess it's a very easy way to post unsavory content, but at the same time, can also just stop people from doing that if I don't like what they're doing. my neck is so crunchy. It's no good. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see what see what this internet has to say to me. So I wonder if I just throw this in here as it is. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we are on to something. Oh, beautiful. That's like already a billion times better than what I had before. I'm not in Firefox, I'm Google Chrome, and I think we have found our solution. So now I just need to, yeah, jackpot, exactly. So now I just need to figure out what exactly I want them to look like. But as long as they don't look like the default scroll bar, I am honestly fine. Like, this is actually totally fine, even if I don't actually manage to change anything about it. Yeah, it's so much smoother, it doesn't stand out as much. It's just there. There is simply an indicator that a scroll bar exists. Honestly, if I can make it even more subtle, that'd be cool. We'll see what exactly we want that to look like. Yeah, I like clean designs. They just make me feel good when I stumble upon them when I'm looking at them. But then there's also like that gremlin part of my brain that's like, you know, go for that full, like, I don't know, kind of cluttered kind of fantasy, everything's all over the place kind of look. I don't know. Cuz I feel like that's where my brain kind of diverges with itself, where the kind of like UI aesthetics of sci-fi, like a lot of sci-fi themed worlds on WorldAnvil have like these really awesome, clean, beautiful, smooth CSS designs. I'm like, oh man, I kind of want my world to look like that. But I'm like, oh no, it feels too clean for the subject matter I'm trying to write about. Less is more in design. Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to find the balance that works for me to keep both sides of my brain happy. Yeah, because it's like this papery background that I use is definitely not the it's not the smoothest of reading experiences for sure. But I just really like the way it looks. I don't know. We're finding our mix between clean design and more detailed elements just kind of thrown in. So yes, what colors shall I... Can I make this transparent? I think that's an option. Just refresh that real quick and see if that worked. Oh, I made yeah, I made the track transparent, so that could work. And I just would want to change the scroll bar color. I don't know, I feel like I almost like it having a track, just maybe not like the bright white that it used to be. Oh, to the internet, to the world of colors. Give me the color list, please. Yes, the now's the hard part. It's like which little color do I want to pick out of a sea of them? We shall see. I'll just get this fancy little color picker going. Pick the first color that we stumble upon. See how we like it. And then go from there. Oh yeah, that's like way too pink. I don't like that. What have I done? Wait, don't I have like a whole color guide for the colors I use for my world? Why am I not using that right now? I'm just going against all of the graphic design knowledge that I've built over the years. Yeah, just ignore the color guide that you made for your own design. You don't need that. You don't need the brand guide. Let me just pull that up real quick. Oh god, the site is just bright white. My eyeballs are very upset. Let's see if we like that. Let's see. We're gonna see if we like those two colors together. It seems a little too... a little bit too much. A little too saturated. We grab that color. Maybe if I just take this color and make it a little bit less of what it is. And a little bit more of that maybe. We shall see. A little better. Could be a little... see, now the track looks a little too dark. Life is so hard. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I at least know how to get colors. It is just very hard for me to decide which of these colors I want. Because that handle definitely looks like way... It is too noticeable now. It's not as subtle as I'd like it to be. Oh man, maybe... Where do I have... See if I can grab HSLA color code. Well, honestly, what am I even doing? I could just where was I putting this? On the track, right? Okay, if I do that for the track, let's see what we end up with. Oh yeah, for the track, that's perfectly fine. Very subtle, but you know it's there. At least you can for the most part see that the track is in fact there, and that's good for me. It is difficult to see on the phone. It's like, it is very hard to see, but it's not completely gone. And so I think that that is kind of my ideal. Like, if you look closely, it's there, but it's not going to stick out very much. I think I should make, yeah, I definitely want the track to be, not the track, the handle to be not quite as it is. So let's... Hmm. Okay, so what color are we shooting for here? That's like a very dark purplish kind of color. So we're gonna try to generate something like that. And then basically do the exact same thing where it's like kind of mostly super transparent. Or not super transparent, but I just want to kind of blend it against itself a little bit better. Maybe this needs to be a little bit more pink. Okay, we'll grab HSL color code. See if 0.5 does the trick. Oh, I literally typed 0.5, not 0.5. Listen, it is hard to be alive sometimes. Okay, yeah, maybe we tone it down with the transparency, but I think we're at least on the right track here. I have to like bend down to see the key I'm pressing. That's not bad at all. Now, I don't want to get too ambitious, but I kind of want to see if I can get some padding on the left here. I don't know if it works that way, but... yeah, okay, it doesn't. We'll have to find another way. Life is not so easy as to allow me to just type in padding left. Not this time. Actually, wait, hold on. Maybe I just put it in the wrong spot. Some margin red on the pop-up content. I mean, yeah, maybe, actually. That could do it. Actually, handle on hover I didn't change. I probably want it to be a different color than that. Can make it the exact same background color, just maybe we'll just not have it be transparent. If you hover over it, maybe little transparent, maybe 0.9. Little refresh, little. Yeah, it's subtle, but I like subtle, so yeah. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, last stream we had a mishap with drinking juice, where it tried to assassinate me. Hopefully we're not going to do that today. I will do everything in my power to avoid this. I'm just really bad at drinking juice, as it turns out. Okay, so we have leaflet stuff. We'll see if tossing a little margin in here does anything. That did not do it. Oops, that's not the right word. What if we try some padding? That's, I think it literally just, like, pushed it to the right of the scroll bar, so it just, it did kind of like the exact opposite of what I wanted. Oh, let's, like, bump this up to 100 just to see what it's actually doing. I cannot actually brain it. Yeah, it's okay, yeah, so padding on the actual leaflet just makes it larger, but the scroll bar stays where it is. So it's not padding in between the scroll bar and the content, but just... I guess maybe I could target the actual content. I guess that probably is a thing. So we are just going to get rid of that right quick. Yes, now how do I target just what is inside? Refresh this, because I don't want to look at that anymore. Alright, we're back to normal now. Go back to, we're gonna make this a little bigger again. So I'm not struggling. I don't know, funny little workaround. If I just make the images on these have padding, does it push away everything else too? Oh, fun little workaround maybe? Stop opening different things. You know, I I am having a lot of fun figuring this out, at least, so even if things aren't quite working out, I'm at least enjoying the process. And I think sometimes that can be even more important than actually getting the thing right the first time. Well, let's see if that did anything for us. That approach did not. Today I learned how to adjust scroll bars. It does a lot to a page. Oh yeah, like absolutely. It's all like the little things that you don't think about in a design that just can really run away with it. Like you can have everything on your page be absolutely beautiful, but that one little element that's just peeking through, that's just still the default, you're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, oh man. I really wish I noticed that before I hit publish and shared this with everybody that I know. Hmm. We're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing how much will stick at this point. There's marker content. CSS in a nutshell, ton of trial and error. Yeah, absolutely. It is. I don't know that I've actually ever been frustrated with it yet. Like, I'm sure I've definitely had some things that were just, like, maybe they took me a very long time to figure out. I don't know, it's all just like one giant art project for me. And I know that I've had a lot of those. Oh, see, now I'm curious, because the little X to close this out is like off to the right, and I don't know if that was always like that. And probably not, right? I don't actually know that that bothers me, though. Actually looks pretty cool. You try to do stupid stuff on your pages. Yeah, that's completely understandable. Always taking on these little ambitious projects. I am no stranger to ambitious projects, as it were. Just out here doing our best. You know, I think that's really all we can ask for in this life. Just do your best. And eventually it'll probably work out. You have to assume so, right? And even if it doesn't, at this point, I'm just kind of trying to do like a little nitpicky kind of deal. So I'm not too terribly... I won't be too terribly bothered if this particular thing that I'm just trying to do doesn't work. There are certainly worse looking things out there in this world. Everything I'm inspecting is just, it's like, it's lumping the scroll bar in with the content, so it's like one kind of thing. At least if I'm targeting like the whole group of stuff. Which is a little annoying, but you know, it's, again, it's not really the end of the world if that doesn't work out for me. But if I can just target it's like marker content. I definitely think I need something a little... Oh? Okay. Okay, we did it. We've separated the scroll bar from the content. We are, as the kids say, winning. The big brain plays have finally paid off, my friends. Yes, all the cheers. I'd put my little cheer emote into the chat right now, but for some reason it is still under review. So to that I say, I weep. I don't know why it's under review. Like I don't know, half of the emotes that I uploaded yesterday just went through completely fine. Like they didn't need to be reviewed or anything, but then the other half are just like, they have the little clock symbol. It's like, oh, pending, like waiting for review. It's like, who is reviewing them? And why do they need to be reviewed? Is it because one of them is named Drama? Like, like do we not like drama? Maybe not. Like, why are they reviewing my cheer emote? Cheering is like the thing that people do the most on this website. Maybe they think there's something strange going on. I feel like putting the padding just only on one side though is just kind of throwing things off. So maybe instead of just a padding right, I will just make it padding. Because everything without a scroll bar is now just kind of skewed. But everything with a scroll bar just looks a little bit unbalanced that way. Life is very difficult. Oh, like I guess, like this really isn't that bad. It's actually it's pretty reasonable, pretty good. Maybe if I get rid of the padding on the top, it'll feel slightly better. Maybe. This looks good. I mean, yeah, like I also don't dislike it. I think maybe just taking the padding off the top might do it for me. Oh my gosh, if I just change, I do want a little bit on the top, but not a lot. Maybe a little less on the left. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I currently have it set so that it's the same padding on both sides. Left and right. But just the scroll bar being there. Yeah, like the scroll bar being there just kind of like makes it feel really uneven. But then with these pop-ups that don't have a scroll bar, then it feels also uneven. And so I guess we just kind of have to make the choice of which one would we prefer to have uneven. Do we want uneven space without a scroll bar, or do we want the uneven space like the other way around? Yeah, very, very troublesome. Maybe I'll just write everything so that there is a scroll bar no matter what. Just make all my descriptions long enough that it's not an issue anymore. Like what, I can't format this so that it looks good with and without a scroll bar? I guess I'll just make everything have a scroll bar. Where are we right now? Even padding. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. What if I make the scroll bar just like a teensy bit less, just like a little bit less opaque? Maybe if I do that, it'll seem a little bit less jarring. I guess, yeah, can I adjust the height? Wait, hold on. Okay, if I just make it 100, does that affect anything at all? It didn't do anything, so indeed. Yeah, putting in a pixel value for height doesn't change anything about the scroll bar. You don't need that anymore. Height is not a thing in scroll bars. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense that that's a thing. Because they do kind of just fill whatever container they're supposed to be scrolling up and down anyway, so yeah, I guess we can accept that. It's all good. But yeah, I think I think with a slightly less opaque scroll bar, it's a little bit less jarring of a imbalance. Maybe. And I could make it even less present. Could be interesting to see how that looks. Because in the grand scheme of things, I don't really need people like staring at the scroll bar. That would be kinda pale. Kind of fan. I like what we've created today. So yeah, it's exactly what I said earlier. You take some of your wins, you take some of your losses. Some things you just can't change, and that's okay. You learn to work around these things. And with all these funky little letters and numbers, I don't know. Sometimes miracles happen, sometimes they don't. You want to make your scroll thumb thingy rounder? Oh. Yeah, I don't mind the blocky look. I think it looks good. I really like these super simple scroll bars. There's just like rectangle in a much longer rectangle. No other detail, no other shapes, just it's a bar. It's a bar and it's in there. It's a bar and a track. Don't really need the buttons to go up and down. We have like 6 million buttons on a mouse that do that, and touch screens and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I like it. It looks good. Now I'm just going to save this adjustment to the padding so that there's less padding up top. Same on the left and right. And padding on the bottom. I don't really think I need extra padding on the bottom. I think that's... I don't know. Maybe I just don't want it to be left out. I'll do padding on the bottom of same as the top. I'll just give it 10 pixels. Yeah, so it's a little elevated from the bottom there, and that's good for me. We are doing it. And yes, so I don't know, can I change this legend? I don't really know if it's necessary for me to change what the legend looks like, because I mean that's... I don't mind that being kind of like defaulty, because that's just it's not part of the map, so to speak. It's literally just a little instruction that says, yeah, toggle the different marker groups to see subregions and settlements scattered throughout the primary regions of Nephirin. And so that's just your little real life tip. Gosh, I didn't, okay. This little thingy down here. Alright, if I try to change it right now and it's like super easy, I'll do it. But I don't feel as though I need to. So I'm not gonna be too upset if it's not as straightforward as I'd like. You know what, since we do have this whole thing with the scroll bar real quick, I'm just gonna pop this little marker in here so that I know what I'm that I know what I'm looking at in the future when I decide to scroll through all my CSS and just kind of generally want to know what I'm staring at. Like, ever since I found out you could just pop these notes in here wherever you want just to kind of organize your stuff, it's made my life so much easier, so much better. Oh, gosh. I'm very sleepy today. Yes, let us. This one seems... This one just looks like it should be leaflet container legend. Without notes, I would die. Yeah, I don't think I have quite that many. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff in here. It kind of just goes on for a while. So maybe just scrolly, scrolly, scroll, scroll. Yeah, there's at least a couple of things in here, so it might be for the best that I have notes. Now what was my goal with this? I want to do basically the exact same thing as... Alright, well that certainly did not change the thing that I wanted it to change. But maybe I'm just missing a little... Maybe I'm just missing a little something. Maybe I just... Maybe I don't need it at all. Okay, so that definitely targeted the legend. It just did not put the background on there that I wanted. So, part of me was wondering if it just does not like backgrounds. At least maybe not my little background URLs. I also don't want the font to be quite so large. It's a little bit unnecessary. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all the CSS for like my homepage and now also for my map. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff in here. It also includes like all my fonts, all my everything that I use for this. So there's definitely a lot of lines of CSS already in here. But as long as I can keep it all organized and not lose my place in it every single time I look at it, I think I'll be okay. And I don't very often have to look through my CSS because I kind of just I kind of spot change things and categorize them in a way that makes sense. So ideally, I should not be losing track of anything that I put in here. At least that's the goal, anyway. We all know how those types of expectations often kind of just don't work out. Hmm. Maybe I just need... Maybe I need that little handle at the beginning, and then it would work. No, that just kind of... Yeah, it just turned it all off. Or maybe I goofed and wasn't supposed to have something in there. No. That's just not the code for it. Oh. Clicked on something I didn't want to. I'm clicking on everything that I don't want to. Oh, okay. Okay, cool, we got it. We have identified the boy. And now we shall see if the thing I originally wanted to do actually works. Oh, I would like for it not to quite look like that. It's a little darker than I would like. Everything else is a lot brighter than it. So let's just see. It's Mr. VIP. Hello, welcome. We have been... Hey, hi, hello. We have been messing around with CSS today. And you can now gaze upon these beautiful pop-ups with a nice little new scroll bar. Fancy, very nice. And this lovely article layout here that now is no longer the default setting. Oh ho ho, fancy indeed. And so we are just figuring this out, kind of element by element, making it pretty. So yes. Less cat paw prints. Well, I mean, no, they're still on there. They still do be they do be here. What do you mean less? Are you demanding less or do you see less? You're demanding less. Less paw prints, more world. One day. One day there will be more world. When I build it. But that day has not yet come. Oh my gosh, I was about to go do something. I was about to go look at something. Stinky kitties. Yeah. The cats in this world are stinky. They just get into everything. They knock over your very expensive ink that makes you cry a little bit on the inside when you see it all over the paper. And maybe cry a little bit on the outside as well, because it is very upsetting. Yeah, you will notice I'm just very sleepy today. And that might be making some of this go a lot slower than I may have originally liked. Sleepy owl. Yeah, that's me. It's me, the sleepy owl. Oh, you know, I could have named my channel points like bird bucks for the alliteration. I don't know, bird currency just seems like my brand, honestly. And like all the icons that I'm currently using, I'm definitely going to have to make, like they're all placeholders right now. They're just kind of images that I had on hand that I thought like, oh yes, I could use this. I would love to get kind of like a more specific set of emotes and things and icons for my Twitch channel in particular. Like sub badges, maybe a better icon for bird currency, because right now it's just a generic sack of gold, and I don't really, I mean, I like it, but it doesn't really scream bird currency to me. It just screams regular currency, and that's not what we do around here. Bird currency. Yeah, I just kind of, I came up with it. Bird currency. It's a bag of seed. Perfect. But yeah, no, it's like I was saying earlier, like the whole brand thing is like, I'm an owl. I'm an owl person. And owls don't really eat seeds. They eat other birds, you know? So I mean, I guess the bird seed could be luring other birds that I can eat them. You know? That would be pretty funny. Yeah, I didn't see that coming, did ya? Okay, what if what if instead of making this look like that background, I instead make it look like my allowed buttons? You know, I kind of do like that. But why is it not, did I not copy over the little thingy that makes the borders not, makes the borders round? Did I copy over border radius? I did. I guess this little thing down here, this little box doesn't like to have rounded corners. So that's rude. Very rude, dude. And now I'm like typing stuff into Google and it just automatically knows I'm looking for CSS advice. Like, oh yes, rounded corners, CSS. Just autofills it for me. Very good. But yeah, it doesn't seem like... It does not seem like the legend on the map supports the border radius. The border radius element, which is unfortunate. I was hoping I could make it look pretty much exactly like the other ones that I've had. Yeah, the internet is learning about my habits and it needs to stop. Maybe. So maybe we just 0.05. Oh, I don't want 0.05. Oh, that's because that's not the value that I'm supposed to be changing. Haha. I think I might just need... I think I need the color of this box to be different. What if I do this color as this HSL instead? Yeah, I like the kind of like warmer, the warmer color. Matches the theme a little bit better. Maybe, I don't know, I could maybe even go a little bit darker, but I don't want to go too dark because then I'm gonna have to adjust the writing and I don't really want to have to do that. Because that's also annoying. We'll just put this to almost maximum visibility. I don't like that either. Why is life so difficult? What if I turn up the brightness quite a bit? Make this, ooh. Make that a little bit more, make it less saturated? Yes. I don't know, I kind of... I don't hate it. By any means. I don't know. What do you think? I think it does work. I think it serves its purpose. But now I worry, is it too visible? Is it too in the way? No, right? I think it's good. And this window's like... I have a lot going on in this window that's just not currently visible on the stream because it's like just out of the way. But if I had to keep searching for these elements on this tiny little window that I've compressed in order to fit on the stream screen, I was going to lose my McFreaking mind. Now can I adjust this card body? That would be cool. Now if I just throw in card body and I theoretically just make it exactly the same. Oh, fuck. Oh, family friendly, we can't be cursing. Let me see if that did anything. No, like not even a little bit. You know, it's probably because I just don't have any... Probably need the little user CSS map sidebar in front of that. That would make a lot of sense, because it is indeed in the map sidebar. Okay, that didn't change anything either. Yeah, it's okay. Would be nice. Sidebar extras? Hmm. My stream is a bit behind. Oh, maybe. It's possible. Sometimes Twitch just gets a little bit weird with the time sync. Should only be off by a few seconds by default, but yeah, sometimes it just is weird. Becomes a little bit strange. Timey-wimey. Wibbly-wobbly, all that. And so yes, I'm gonna keep trying to get this element, just like beat it into submission. It's going to work, I'm sure of it. Probably. Not too sure about it because there's a lot to consider. Yeah, I'd like to adjust this box that's just kind of at the bottom of this sidebar right now. It's kind of just at the bottom of all the articles. I don't actually know if this is something that shows up to like random people looking at this map. You know, honestly, I think that's something I can just look at. Oh, let's just go incognito real quick. Like if I'm not logged in and I try to look at this. Okay, you know what? It doesn't even show up. I don't need to worry about this at all. That is not a thing that I need to adjust. The regular folk do not see this box. So I will no longer bother with it. Excellent. Yeah, it is such a nice scroll bar. Yeah, thank you for the tip to go check W3, because that's definitely it's definitely a website that I have used quite a bit, but for some reason it just completely slipped my mind to just go looking at it. It has so many answers for me. Sometimes it really is that simple, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I guess I kind of should look at this from the perspective of someone who is not logged in. And I mean, like, it looks good. Like, it looks really nice. And a lot of these elements that I was kind of worried about before, they're not really an issue anymore. So I think as far as the visuals go for the CSS on this map, I'm a-okay with what we have cooked up today. And so I guess from here on out, it will just be filling in the content. And of course, in many ways, that is kind of the hard part. Is actually doing the thing. It's actually writing the words. Hello, who has come? Dave has followed, thank you. Hello, welcome. How are you doing? Honestly, we are having a lovely stream right now. I feel very accomplished. I feel like I've gotten done, or not gotten done. I feel like I've done everything that I've set out to do thus far. We are just doing well. And so yes, now I have to fill in more of these places. And I have to decide which images that I have cooked up in the past few days I shall be using for each and every one of these places. So I'm going to save the CSS thingy. I love this collection of the little saved pop-ups that are just on here. You see I've done quite a bit of saving, which is great. Like you can I'll just zoom in, like it's just a whole wall of them on the right side of this window. We love that. But yes. I guess now we will just be going and crawling through our store of images. Not so much the store of images, we will be uploading more images. I must grab them first from my message history. Yeah, I cooked up a couple images that I'm quite happy with. And so we shall be collecting them and using them. I do think I only put together like a couple more images. I do need even more on top of them, but we will get there. We will get there in time. This I promise. There are still several places that I have to not only create images for, but also write about, because like there are a lot of parts of my world that I just never really thought about prior to doing all of this. And I will once again say that's probably exactly the reason that Demetrius was giving out all these missions, is to get people writing, get people thinking about these parts of their world that are a little bit lacking. And when I say lacking, I do not mean lacking in quality, but perhaps in quantity. I simply did not have anything written for a lot of these places. And after this is through, I will change that. That will be different. I don't know, there's something just really exciting about that. I have been challenged, I have been given a mission, and as it turns out, challenges really help you out. You just end up doing all this stuff that maybe beforehand you weren't even thinking about. Yes, so we'll go edit this. Little header for at the top 2 lines. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want to copy the image code. Image code, please. There we go. Line break. And from there, we will be writing our little description. Like how the New Year's resolution article makes people go read other people's articles. Yeah, I mean, I just think that reading challenges are such a good idea after these big community challenges happen. Because there are so many fantastic articles on this website that people just don't end up seeing because nobody shares them. And I even like I was a sponsor for one of the special categories this year for WorldAnvil, and I ended up reading so many condition articles from a bunch of people that I had never even heard of. Like I'd never seen their name before. A lot of them probably just don't even come onto the Discord or anything. Yeah, like some of those articles were stellar. Like they were awesome. I was really excited to read them. I was really excited to see them, share them. And it was really fun getting like other people, like people in my community, people who are my friends, people just around the WorldAnvil community, just like getting them in here, getting them in these streams, just seeing them. I don't know. I love that we cultivate this kind of culture of like, you know, looking at other people's work and encouraging them, giving feedback. It's nice. It's fun. It's cool. And it has certainly over the years made me a lot more confident in sharing my work and just being in the public eye with the things I write. Like I used to hold all of my writings like very, very tight to my chest. I did not want to share my work because I just thought that like I don't know, I thought it wasn't good enough. And in a lot of ways, I do still sometimes feel like I'm just not good enough. But I'm at least good enough to put myself out there, and that's a huge step up from where I used to be. It used to be that I did not think I was even worthy of people looking upon my work at all. And now I'm very happy to share my work with other people. Yeah, like the fact like I opened my I logged in yesterday or the day before or something, and I had notifications and like people were commenting on my article. I'm like, oh, like people actually saw my work and they took the time to express something about it, an opinion. Like it's really nice when you like, even if you didn't show it to someone, like if someone just like stumbles upon your things and they actually show that they have taken an interest in it and they actually tell you like, oh, this was really cool, like I like this part, like you know, this detail was really interesting, like it shows that they actually kind of gave it some attention for a minute. And like even if that person forgets about what they'd read like a couple days from then, like that little impact, like it's still there. Like you still had that moment where someone perceived you. Someone perceived you and your work. And that's really cool. And so yes, eventually I do have to write something about this. um so yes, this will be the pin for Leech Sea, which is going to be a giant, kind of very icky no good swamp. Kind of sandwiched in between one of my more innately magical regions and the Great Mountain Range, which separates the eastern, like, kind of collection of the continent from the rest of it. And so yes, if you want to get from one place to another, you might just have to trudge through this very icky no good swamp. I've yet to fully decide what I want to actually put in there, like into this swamp. Do I want it to be more magical? Do I want it to be kind of like your average everyday swamp with some kind of natural terrors? How do people travel through it? That is a very good question. I imagine people typically don't. I imagine it is a place that you'd want to avoid as much as possible. It'd be this section over here. I mean, I imagine most people wouldn't, but some people might. And I will admit, I'm not super well versed in how people travel through swamps. Most of their trade would most certainly come through the port. I imagine that most people who live deeper within the swamp are going to be people who don't interact terribly much with outsiders. They probably don't trade terribly much. They probably don't really even go to the port city. But there may be civilizations which do. And again, this is one of those regions that I've kind of conceptualized on a vague level. Hadn't really written much about. Like the meat of my world is kind of all in like right here in Arsavella. And like it goes out into Nimavi and Erisbrana. Ooh, I didn't mean to open that, but that's fine. Oh, I didn't link the article to that pin. It's another thing. Yeah. And there's also like a lot of meat in Volcan. Because that was like, yeah, I have like 3 settlements in here compared to some of the other places that maybe don't have quite as many. Made this entire massive map, put tons of hours into it, and everything takes place in the capital. Yeah, that's basically exactly the kind of situation that I'm having, where, like, I know that this whole world exists, and not only does kind of like this half of the world exist that I currently have like labeled up and everything, but also this whole part of the world exists, but not in concept enough that I can share with people and be like, yes, this is my world and here is what's in it. Because I don't know what's over here. I have no idea what's over here yet. I just know that it's there. So, until I figure it out, we are only looking over here. And honestly, I think just the over here is already a big enough bite for me to chew on for probably several years. Like I had even less than this for several years. So, as long as we can get some regions put together. And people from all over the world are there in your story and in the capital. Yeah. See, this capital over here is a little bit more, it's a little bit more isolated than some of the other kind of like capitals of the world. I'm kind of developing this region, this Arsavella, as this kind of like starter zone of all starter zones, where most of the people who live here kind of have no idea how the rest of the world works. Like they just have no idea how it functions. They barely even know what magic is, even though this world is like hugely built around it. And so, if you are an adventurer setting foot into this world for the first time, you probably don't know anything about this world either. That's okay. And neither do most of your neighbors if you start over here. So you will learn, maybe slowly, maybe quickly, exactly what it means to encounter magic in this world. You'll kind of learn as you go. Conversely, we could just throw you into the deep end, like, hello, here are 2 regions right next to each other that are completely ravaged by ley lines emerging. One is forever cursed with light magic and the other with fire. Enjoy. Just, just everything is super tumultuous and crazy. Yeah. Yeah, and so there's just like a lot of parts of the world that are just completely overturned by various magical forces. But everyone over here is kind of chilling. Like they don't really get hit by that ever. They barely know what it is. And people who come into this region talking about it, I'm not going to say that bad things happen to them, but people kind of don't believe them or trust them. They think they're weird and crazy. And I guess if you get too animated about it and telling people, then maybe the new government might try to do something about it to you, theoretically. In theory, maybe. They're great people, I assure you. In theory. In theory. Everything's fine. Everything is all good. Oh, goodness. But yeah, so... Yeah, I think my brain is a little bit too crunchy right now for me to come up with new written content, unfortunately. So I think in the meantime, I will instead gaze upon... That is not the homepage for that event, that is just the Google form. Where is the homepage for the event? Submit your entries now. I have 4 oh, that's the Google form. I want the page, please. The homepage for the event. Oh my god, where is it? Is it in the Discord server? Why is this suddenly so difficult to find? Take me there. Alright, perfect. Worldbuilding Awards 2022. Head off to bed. EU time. Oh yeah, it's probably quite late for you over there. Thanks for sticking around as long as you did. It's really nice to have you chatting. Yes, we can submit to any number of categories. I'm going to kind of go through this list right now of all the categories. I'm going to see if I can think of any articles of mine that I think maybe fit the prompt. And if any of them do, I will maybe take the next couple of days to kind of beef them up a little bit. And then, yeah. I will beef them up. I will make them look extra nice and presentable for the category. And yeah, we will see how that all goes. So article categories. Heart and Minds Award. Article touching on the intellectual, sociological, spiritual, or cultural accomplishments and traditions of a people in your world. So, the only thing I can think of that I had really written in this past year that touches on kind of like the cultural accomplishments and traditions of a people in my world is me talking about the Bokin people and their, like, intense crafting culture. And in particular, their glass craft. So yeah, I guess I could pull at least one of those articles from there, and we will see. Rise of Nations Award, article relevant to the history of civilizations and peoples of your world and their legacies. Is it cheating if I submit a previous challenge article into in for this one? No, right? Like, you're submitting your best, right? Antecedents was my entry for On the Shoulders of Giants. It was shortlisted, and so I think maybe this would be a good time to give it a second chance to shine. Even if it doesn't win, maybe something good will come of it. Wondrous Nature Award. Your Natural World in All Its Glory. An article describing anything from species to locations to natural and supernatural events and bizarre naturally occurring materials. That one's harder for me to kind of think about. I can maybe crawl through my articles. You can only filter by subscriber group. Yay. So hold on, what am I? Like, bizarre naturally occurring materials. Okay, if I look through my summer camp articles from this year, that actually might That might point me into a much better direction than just kind of like scrolling through my article list. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the only things I wrote this year were for summer camp and WorldAnvil, pretty much. So let us see. Like I don't know that I wrote anything about any kind of peculiar natural naturally occurring materials. From species to locations, natural, supernatural events. I have a tough one. You know, I could maybe. I could submit the Gilded Reef. It's a geographic location for the wondrous nature. But a lot of its draw for me is not so much in the actual nature aspect, but of one specific part of that nature which has caused a huge amount of conflict for the people living there. And I don't know, since it's very conflict and people driven, if this exactly fits the category. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And for Strength and Honor Award, article relevant to the interactions of your people across a grand scale: diplomacy, war, trade, and collaboration, people who drive and engineer them. See, that could also theoretically. Well, I couldn't submit that article because the allowed article templates does not include geographic location. But I could write about, not write about, I could submit the military conflict. Military conflict from Seething Primal Insurrection. Which day was that? That was like day 8, right? No, day 10. Yeah, Scorched Earth. And so that was more of like an infighting thing within one culture in my world. So I also don't. Yeah, it's like interaction with people of your world across a grand scale. It's not so much of a grand scale, it's a regional scale, but I guess it's also kind of like it was a conflict between people and like literal natural primal forces of the world. So I think it could still work. We have Pillars of Progress Award. Article describing a technological or scientific, including metaphysical accomplishment, or celebrating creations developed by people of your world. Now see this one, So I have the Earthen Words that I wrote about during summer camp. But that was kind of like a technological development of old, of like really old, that people can't really make today, but they're still very much used today as out of necessity. So it's kind of a difficult one. And then we have Myths and Legends Award. Article describing an aspect of your world building which are mythical or fictional within the construct of your world. So a little bit of world building inside of your world building, if you want to think of it that way. And examples might include pantheons, urban legends, and stories of non-historical fictional characters. I want to say that one of the articles I wrote, well, see, there is the Font of Oblivion that I wrote about. And what is that? It's an artifact. It's an item. You can only submit character, myth, or organization, which, this wouldn't work because it's an item. But the Yulrori Umber lists are specifically an organization that are kind of hunting this Font of Oblivion, which is told of as a myth within the world. No one can confirm nor deny that it ever existed, but it is blamed for the fall of the world, the fall of magic. The kind of transition of what the world used to be in ancient times, where people would wield magic. Now instead, we are currently in a world that is kind of governed and turned and changed by magic, but people don't really get to wield it nearly as often as they used to. It's still possible, but it's very rare and very difficult. So things kind of get flipped on their head, where the world itself wasn't particularly magical back then. Now the world is magical and people are not. So I do think that I could spin that one into something very, very legendy, I would say. But of course, the non-article categories, Cartography Award is what I have been working on for the past while. I mean, I started this map long before I started streaming. But yes, award for the best original interactive map created in 2022. All map types can be submitted, no stipulation of image type. Minimum requirements, 30 pins. Yeah, you have to credit all your art. It's basically just normal stuff. There's History Award 2022. I don't have a good timeline that I think would be kind of worth submitting. I mean, I have one, and I'd say it's worth submitting it, but I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. And that's kind of the history of Kamigan. I didn't really put a lot of time into it. I just kind of put it together as part of, I think it was more of just me kind of trying to keep track of days and dates and just putting a reference to something more than I was actively trying to create a nice timeline. But for the Time and Space Award for the Best Chronicle, I am very happy with the chronicle I created for the antecedents article. But the minimum content requirement is 20 events. And I don't know that I have 20 events on there. So I would have to do some messing around. I would have to add even more stuff to it. And I don't know if I have the time for it. We will see. Because I would like to submit it regardless. So it just may be something that I have to put some extra time into. Yes, so the major categories. Best world building article. Any article created within 2022 is eligible for this reward. I don't know what I would submit to that. Like, what is my best? How can I decide that? Most groundbreaking new world premise 2022. Only worlds created within the year are eligible, so I am not eligible for that at all. My world has been around for several years. Most beautiful new world, again, that's not for me. Most beautiful world, just in general, no creation restriction. Submit your world homepage and up to 3 additional articles. I believe I will be submitting for that. And I do, let's see. I do want to kind of update the layout of my homepage. It's supposed to be seen like this, so things are a little bit more balanced than they appear on my little smushed screen. But yeah, we will just to look at what I'm actually doing, because I'm like resizing stuff, and but yeah. It's a lot more balanced than the squish screen makes it out to be. Definitely ideal viewing on a larger screen. Yes, I have my currently. I want like kind of an updated map put here. I don't know if I'd want this map precisely to be on here. It's definitely a more recent, more current version of the map, but it's also kind of not that different. But yeah, as far as things I would submit to Beautiful World, Kingdom of Arsavella is definitely up there. So I mean, I just like I have the map that I made myself. I have little extra art thrown in here. Some fancy stuff. And again, this is one of those articles that just doesn't quite look right when it's smushed. So yeah, everything's nice and evenly spaced this way. Beautiful. Lovely. I'm very happy with this. This is like the first article I put out during Worldember this year. And basically as soon as I finished this article, all the momentum just like went down the drain, you know? And kind of it's kind of unfortunate. Like I put together one more nice article after that. And that was the Servid Revenant. Let me just find it real quick over here. This was, it's nothing fancy either, but it has like that big image at the bottom, image in the sidebar. I just think it looks nice. And yeah, Maradi Reza was, not my favorite article to look visually, not my favorite. But I know I had at least a couple of articles just scattered around. Oh no, what am I saying? I definitely would want to submit antecedents to Beautiful World. I was very happy with how that came out. I just go back to my homepage. I think it's, yeah, it's still on the front page because I was very happy with it. Again, with the little map I made myself. Very happy with it. Lots of art, lots of things just kind of scattered around. I don't know. I'm sure there are ways I can beautify this further. I don't know if I will have the time to, like, I'm being very ambitious with all the things I'm trying to do all at once. But what else is new, right? And then there's Best World. Submit the World Meta Primer homepage and 3 core articles. I don't have a primer for my world, so I don't really know that I can accomplish every single thing on my list and create a world primer and update my meta, and yeah, it's a little too much. This is all kind of stuff that I should have started on ages ago, but we can't always be perfect. Most certainly not. But anyway, I think this is where I will have to call my time with you all finished for the day. But it does appear that we have a friend streaming. And so I would like it very much if we could all go raid that friend. So I'm thinking we could all go raid Grinning Hazard, playing Ghost of Tsushima, which I hear is a fantastic game. So if you want to hang around and watch some great gaming times, follow me on the raid. And I hope to see at least some of you again on Thursday. I will be doing basically the same thing, except hopefully a little bit more put together and probably more in a rush. I'm probably going to be a little bit more frantic because at that point I will only have like a day to finish everything that I'm working on, and that's a little stressful. I don't have a lot of time this week, and I certainly will not have a lot of time during the day because I have work. But it's fine. It's fine. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Rest of your evening. Maybe it's very late evening. Maybe you're going to bed right now. But that's okay. Yeah. Drink some water, everyone. Stay hydrated, stay productive. And I will see you guys some other time. Hopefully Thursday. Bye, everyone!